Hello, everybody. This is Maniac 4 Bricks. I'm not going to go into whether or not you're a fan of Bionicle. If you're not a fan, if you're not interested, you know where the door is. But if you do want to listen, I welcome it. I'm just here to talk about a theme that I enjoy from LEGO and what I'd like to collect from it. I just don't want to cause any debates or controversies in the comments. Now that we have that all out of the way, I'm going to make it very brief because I'm not going to be itemizing every single set, what I like or dislike about them. That's for future videos and for past videos because I've already done that with some of them already. So this is basically to start something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I have not publicized that much about, only a little bit a few months ago, and every so often before that. And even so, not always on YouTube, sometimes on Twitter, sometimes elsewhere. I think Instagram a few times recently. So yeah, basically, I want to collect a lot, almost every Lego Bionicle set released. Now, I put every with an asterisk, quotation marks, exclamation point, close parentheses, open parentheses, however punctuation you want to do it. That little T symbol that looks like a cross, and also can work as asterisk. Because some of them are not necessary. Some of them do not interest me. Some of them are, I'm not even worried about the canonicity of some of them. But I'm just saying that some of them are just kind of there. There's a whole lot of LEGO products that I could skip over, even for somebody who likes the rare, weird, obscure stuff. And even for a theme like Bionicle, where I would, I've been getting back into the fandom for the past couple of years and do embrace some of those weird things. I mean, Good Guy as a meme. I made Good Guy review because I just had the parts for it. But, frankly, I'm not even sure what it is myself. And it's been taking me over 20 years to find out. So welcome. This is just a basic rundown of the sets that are listed on brickset.com. And I'm moving to Brickset as opposed to Bricklink because Bricklink would take much longer. There's a lot more of that kind of stuff. Function 2008, Good Guy, Bad Guy, whatever. Nobody needs to really worry about those. And maybe that would serve as a bonus for some time down the road, but not something I'm critical about right now. I'm looking at more of the retail releases of LEGO sets from Bionicle and even other stuff that are collectible from the series, from the theme, have merit here and are things I would like to look into at some point, but I'll only brush through them a little bit here. I have actually done that in the past as well, getting certain, sets, if you want to call them sets, like the Xamasphere launchers that have no Xamasphere launcher. It just has the spheres themselves. It's just the ammo. And it's in gold, bronze, silver color schemes, basically. But moving from that, let's go to Brickset. These are listed in set number order, so it might not be exactly chronological, but fairly close. And you're going to see also the thing that makes this a lot easier through Brickset. I can already say I have them because you'll see it in green, a little green tab underneath each of them if I have it. There are maybe some I actually have multiples of just by chance. I don't even think I filled that in with Huki, Maku, and Kongu from the McDonald's wave. There are also other tabs that I have underneath each of these. That's for my personal collection, completion, condition kind of stuff. That's not a big concern for right now, but it's something we'll probably jump more into in a separate video. Since there's a lot of Bionicle stuff to cover, I want to try to simplify it for this video as much as possible, while still covering the range of stuff. Basically for Jella, the reason why it's like that, and honestly Onepu and someone else here, Motoro might be like that too. It's the discs. That's the only parts that might be missing from them. I picked up the figures without the discs at one point. There are also some of these that are repeats. So technically, I do have these figures. But do I have the Kabaya Sweets version of it? No. Does it really matter if I do? Not much. So there are some that I'm skipping over in here because there are also multiple releases and promotions for some of these. Like I said earlier, it's probably not going to make a big difference. According to Brickset, let's just get this right out the gate of what I have versus what is cataloged, what is actually listed in here. I did not mean to open that tab. Don't do that. Okay. It says that I own, out of the 389, I own 228. Again, probably some leeway in between them of which ones you would classify as own. So that means 161 I don't have. Do I want all of them? No. There's actually like 48, almost 50 of them that I would want. And yeah, I did actually add notes into 2 of them. I know one of them is Attack Us because that was noted from Jeng Bricks as the set that got him back into Lego. He has a blog about it. So, McTaurin, we have them all. Good. We may have to update 1 or 2 of them, but fair enough. Fiku, I technically do have this spider, but he's in a larger set, so I don't count here as just the polybag one. Do I need to have the polybag with him? I don't know. Same thing with the Kabaya Suites or any of the other promotional ones. Do I need to have the boxes? Do I need to have the instructions? Do I have to have... Short answer, no. We'll worry about it later if we really want to get into that. All right. The Rahaga. I do have all of them. Yeah, I even got them back in the day, even though I have gone on record saying I don't like these. That these are some of my least favorite Bionicle sets ever released commercially. They are just not good. I have marked down that I have Good Guy 2008 and Bad Guy 2008 as wanted. I could probably build those. I probably have the parts to build some of these promotional things. Are they pivotal to my collection? No. They're just kind of fun sidebar things to have there. Luggage the Legend, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well today. I'll take the Raga from your hands. I think I might even have duplicates of them. I have to check again because I thought I saw some of them twice in my collection. So that's possible. That can be arranged separately. That will have a whole nother discussion. Function 2008, I've built most of it. I've reviewed it on YouTube officially, but I didn't have all the exact correct parts at the time of reviewing it. So I don't know if you really want to count that one as actually owning it. But fundamentally, it's there. And it is kind of cool. Like, compared to the other ones, this one actually feels like a feasible model. It looks good. It doesn't have as many gaps. It actually has something good for it going. The accessory sets. These are rebatches of parts that already exist. In fact, I know that I own one of these. I'm just not sure which one I own. It might have been this one, the Ultimate Creatures accessory set. It would be nice if I had the jar still. I don't have it, unfortunately, anymore. I have the lid only for some reason. The rest of the jar, I don't know what happened to it, but somehow the lid got separated from it, and I own the lid. That's got to be big money, right? I'm just kidding. I don't know if there's a way to get the jars again, or if they're going to be expensive to get. It's not going to be a big deal, but would be interesting nonetheless. And maybe it would be a good container, like faux canister, for the box sets that I don't have the boxes for, or I don't have a fitting box for them, whatever the case. Good Guy. Again, I marked that I own it. I have technically reviewed it on YouTube. Don't know why I didn't add that in there. But he's basic. I could build him. I could probably have him built and still have parts for all the other figures that these parts belong to. As far as like duplicate pieces I have. More Bad Guy, Catapult, all this kind of stuff. The giveaway, I have that because I have the one other set with these 2 figures. The Paraka Outpost has these 2 figures, and they just reused the same weapons from 2005. This was released in 2006. So I just put the figures in their hands and made a review video. It might be cheating. That's happened a bunch of times. This was not recent. This was like earlier days of when I was making YouTube videos. And it was like, oh, well, I can try something else that probably hasn't been covered because it basically just has the parts. So whatever the case for that may be. Squid launcher function. It's a terrible function. I don't know if it's a decent build. Outside of that, kind of looks neat. Kind of has some creativity to it. And admittedly, I do like the 2007 sets. Like 2007 is my favorite year of Bionicle, hands down. Hands up, hands down. Even if these promotions are wonky. I don't know. Figure it out later. Bionicle Stars. I almost have 2 copies of each of these. I don't have the canisters. And canisters, I also want to address in here. Canisters, boxes, instructions. It's not a big deal if I don't have them. I think I mentioned that a little bit before. But canisters, I'd like to have them, even if I don't have the instructions. If it comes with a canister, it would be good to get at some point. Am I going to get them with the figure inherently? No. Am I going to get them shortly after? I don't know when. There is no deadline for when I want to complete these, but the sooner the better. Because Bionicle 20th anniversary, Bionicle Day 2021, I want to upgrade things. I want to make them a bit better than what I've done before for Bionicle Day 2020, whatever. But I have a big video planned for that. I've been chipping away at that over time. And the more that I can collect and display on camera prior to that, the better for it. The better for that video, and the better for the other plans that would appear before that video. So just keeping that in mind, and that's also kind of the reason why I want to do this reevaluation of Bionicle as a theme in a collection standpoint. Because I'd like to get these anyways, but I also have a little bit of a deadline with this. If I don't get them, I'll have to work around it somehow. So yeah, the Bionicle Stars, got them. Gold Good Guy is one of those promotions I actually kind of do want, but I probably could build myself. I probably have all the pieces currently. I know I have another mask. I know I have another staff. Which are probably the more exclusive parts of it. But a little bit of me kind of wants the container too. It's just so goofy. Why did they put a Lego Bionicle set with batteries, with a Duracell pack? Why is that a promotion? Why did Duracell agree to that? And they've done that for a couple of the Bionicle sets. And they've done that for a couple of the Lego products in general. I don't know why they did that. All right, a couple more promotions inside of here. Skipping through those. I had built this one almost entirely. I don't know if I got it 100% correct, but I have technically reviewed it once again on YouTube. So that's interesting on its own. Masks. This is a mask pack. I say that I owned it. So. And Bionicle Forever in here says he needs those stars too. I think we've been talking about it on Discord, right? So yeah, we will sort that out outside of the stream. Now we're talking. So I have all the 6 Xotoa. I have all their canisters. I think I have doubles of not only the Xotoa but also the canisters. The one thing from these I'd still like to get, the CDs, which I'm pretty sure are the same thing, but there are some canisters that have it actually printed on there that say plus mini CD-ROM and poster. I don't have all of them like that. I don't know how many of them are available or hard to find. If I can't, I can't. That's fine. But if I come across them, I would look into it. As far as the those features, the mini CDs, if I recall correctly, are exactly the same thing. So I have 2 of them because I got it with Tahu and Kopaka. To get it with any other ones is not necessary if there's the same CD. Why would I need 6 CDs? Unless I don't know, want to resell it. But I would like to get all the posters. And I don't remember if I have most of them. Some of them. I know I've picked up 1 or 2 before on Bricklink, but I don't remember how many of these. I mean, I assume the mini CD with the poster is always a thing, not just one with a mini CD, one with a poster. So I probably have it with Tahu, I probably have it with Kopaka, and I don't know the condition on any of them. So that could be drastic. That could be a little hard to work with. But for collection purposes outside of the sets, that would be good to get. That would be cool to have. The Nui Rama, basically all the Rahi from 2001, I have. Parts pending. Some of them have fallen apart or disassembled, and parts might be scattered, so I might have to rebuild things. I know the Manas have a few parts missing. Muaka and Kane Ra have some parts missing. I have the box with it, but the box has been flattened by accident a few times. Nui Jaga was the last one I needed to get. That took me a little longer than the rest, but I'm still happy to have them all. Bionicle Power Pack. I picked this up in a big lot of Bionicle, Technic, Throwbots, Slicers, and Robo Riders. Throwbot Slicers, the same thing, so I thought I had it. I had this in box. I think it was already opened, but I had the box, the figure, the CD, everything that was incorporated into this thing was together. And then I sold it, and I regret it. Because admittedly, that's not an easy thing to come by again. I might have had a good reason for selling it at one point, because there were some Lego sets that I had sold at different times to help pay with like college expenses, like for textbooks and things. I don't think this one would have bought me a textbook, but a little extra can help just in case. And I was also commuting, so I didn't have to pay for gas and food and whatever. I wasn't living on campus. I technically have the songs digitally, but I don't have the physical CD. So, and I do have some of the parts of the figure that's in here. I don't remember if I have all of them. So that might be something later to look into. I know I have the Chrome Hal mask that's in here too. Samson, welcome to the stream. Bionicle Ooze? Yeah. Hey, Samson. I've been meaning to do a lot of Nerf stuff, but sorry, I can't do too much with it right now. I didn't mention it on the other channel. I do have some backup stuff. I will try to get done with that. I can't do much lately because of allergies and weather. It was raining earlier today, but also it rained spontaneously the past month or two. So I can't really go outside and do a lot with it too. Nothing says Lego more like Duracell batteries, exactly. Especially when the batteries are not needed for the figure. I sold mine too. Gotcha. So yeah, moving on from there, we've got the Borak Va. I'm pretty sure I have all of these, but I have not found them all together to be sure about it. It seems like the kind of thing that back in the day I would have had all of them. But then again, I didn't have all the Taraga back in the day either. For some reason, Vakama was always like escaped me. Like I never owned it until when I was going to Lego conventions and found it at Brick Fair, New Jersey, several years ago. I got him and had Draxon, and it was like, oh, okay. But this definitely seems like something I would have had back in the day. I definitely recognize having some of these parts, like the tan hammer, some of the feet pieces in different colors that are, mostly exclusive to these. So it's just a matter of some of them I may need to build again, which is a whole other checklist I'm not even going into. But a checklist nonetheless, separate from this one. And these, they might still need work. Let's see how fast I can brush through these. Because there's a lot of them, so I don't want to take forever on this video. I already did a collection video not too long before this about my Sig Fig torsos. There was only 24 items, but I still took an hour and a half. I don't have that. I don't want to take that much time, especially for something that's much longer and more stuff to collect. All right. So the box store, I don't even remember if I have it now. I used to have, like, I didn't have it back in the day. I got it more recently, I think on eBay, and then I sold it after reviewing it. I didn't review the alternate model though, and I don't remember if I had it or if I got it back again, or if I still need to look for it. I haven't come across it yet, so it leads me to believe it's still out there. Like, don't have it kind of territory. It was cool. Definitely had cool features though. Similar thing with the Xotoa. It says that I have owned it, but I don't remember if I do. I haven't come across it again, so I don't know for sure. Kadok and Gadok are some of the white whales of the Bionicle collection. If we're talking top priority kind of stuff for anything I need to collect next in Bionicle, those are up there. I've come across them maybe twice, but they were overpriced and I didn't buy them. Maybe the first time would have been a little more reasonable price and I should have picked it up, but I wasn't thinking about it that much at the time. I was trying to buy some other stuff and I put those off to the side. Whether or not it was a good deal, I don't remember. Yeah, it is a cool set. But yeah, I would definitely like to get those at some point. I have all the Borak. Some of them I have multiples. Do I plan to get more of them as multiples? Not really. I mean, it would be kind of cool for some setups having a swarm of them, but I don't think it's crucial. If I get Bionicle lots and they happen to be in there, I'm not going to say no to it. That's basically how I amassed almost 3 copies of each of the Toa Mata and sometimes the Toa Nuva. I'm fine with that. I think it would actually be fun to put together the combo models and the original sets at the same time, which again might be for later this year. So to be continued. I do have all of the Toa Nuva. I had them back in the day. There might be a few parts here and there I need to check again because there's parts in the back of them that they show you after you build the initial figure that you can add on there, so you can have like static poses with them, like, you know, to put an extra gear on the back to hold their arm up or something like that. And it's like, why? It messes with my head of which parts are actually extra to these, because they are still very, very basic builds, but a few extra parts are included on each one. The Borak Call. This is actually one I've recently finished all 6 completing it. I don't plan to get more than one of each of them because canonically I don't need to. And I personally just don't have interest in that. Just like with the Borak, it's like, well, if they're there, that's fine, but I'm not really looking for it. I think one of each is just perfectly fine. Nuva Call was the last one I needed to get. He's the one I wanted the most for a while. I grew up with only having Tannock and Korak calls because that was usually my pattern. My brother and I, when collecting Lego Bionicle figures, we'd start off with the fire and ice ones first. I would have the fire, he would have the ice. It was a cool trend that we had for many toy waves. We didn't have it with every single one of them, and I did try to bring that back in G2. So I was the only one buying them, but I still was willing to buy both Tahu and Kopaka at the same time, that kind of thing. Couldn't do that with the Uniters, though, unfortunately. Did not have that same kind of luck. Kopik. It would be nice having the 2003 Matoran, but I know that they're not always easy to find. There are a whole bunch of Lego sets in general, not just Bionicle, that I could try piecing together, and some of them I have so far. I forgot who it was, but one of these other ones might have been Motoro or Maku or something like that, or Hafu. I forget which ones. But one of these other ones, I have some parts that I got in a Goodwill bag, and I can sort of piece them together from that. So I'll have to figure that one out later. The hardest parts are, other than the masks, are probably the pieces that attach to the feet. There's a bunch of different colors, but they're not always common, from what I know. The Wakshi, I grew up with all 6 Wakshi, and I think I have some 3, 4 copies just by chance. I've actually recently built one of the combo models out of these, and I'm like, this is so cool. Again, would be that kind of thing that I'd love to review them all at the same time, because I've only reviewed like 1 or 2 on the channel. I don't know why I did that. At the time, I just thought it was that set, so I'll review it as that set. But there's a whole bunch of Lego sets in different waves and things that I can review in one video, everything at once. And some I have, and some I'd like to go back to and try to do that again or better. I did that with the Toamata. I reviewed Tahu separately, Gali separately, and then all 6 of them in one video. So there's that, that kind of stuff. I grew up having Makuta, Jalor and Gaku, and Taku and Puku. Jalor and Gaku, all in pieces. Have to put them all back together. Or buy another one. That's the other thing. I have sometimes just bought another copy of a set because it was too hard to find the pieces again. Especially for things like the Titans and Warriors and those larger builds from Bionicle. I'm like, do I buy another one to make it a lot simpler? And then I look at, like, I had the Voparak set, to spoiler alert, but all 3 of those figures are $50 minimum if you find them nowadays, if you're lucky. Usually they're going to be much more than $50 each in the US, and that's not easy to pick up. So if I actually get enough parts organized, if I actually can find the parts that go with the figures, I'd love to build them again. The original ones that I had, instead of having to buy another copy of them. Takanuva, I've bought another copy. Makuta, I've bought another copy with the same vein. Taku and Puku, actually, was another one I bought another copy. It would just save a whole lot of money if I actually built these again. But that means I'd have to go through hunting down pieces in various bins and now in various rooms or sheds. Excuse me. Because not all of it is in the same room. Never fully was. But also, I have the difference of stuff that's indoors versus outdoors. So, there's that. I had all of the Toa Metru when I was growing up, so that's perfectly fine. It's all good there. All right. Let's I'm really trying to speed through these. I had only one of the Metru Tauren growing up. I only had Orcam. So that was one of the few waves that broke the mold of the fire and ice ones first. I mean the McDonald's McTauren makes sense because they're McDonald's. Unless you knew that. Oh, I'm out of tissues. Oh boy, I've been running through tissues like crazy. That was one of the few that's like I didn't have a choice with McDonald's, and that's how I wound up with 2 to 3 copies of Maku, Huki, and Kongu, and never had a Jala growing up, or Nepu, or Matoro. The only version of Matoro I ever had growing up was his final one, so bittersweet. But yeah, this one is like, well, I like green. Of course I'm going to get that. But yeah, for some reason, didn't get the other ones. I probably have parts to build some of these, but I just haven't put them all together yet. I definitely have all their masks. That is for certain. I think I have even multiples of them. The Vaki is another one that broke the mold. The only one I had growing up was Zadok, and at that, the Mask of Time, Disc of Time edition, special edition of Zadok. It technically came with every single Vaki in like a later re-release in the year or so, but that was how I got him. I don't know if it was because they were too samey or something else that I didn't get the other ones, but I do have them all now, and some of them I have multiples. They aren't bad in multiples. I have Nurak, Bordak, and Kirak, and Roserak. Almost all of them have at least 2 copies each, if I remember correctly. And they're not bad to position in multiples because, much like the Borak, They're faceless, nameless, robotic, more than biological characters. I mean, the Bulwark, yes, they are, but I digress. On top of the digression. Let's see. I had Paraka and Doom, but I didn't get any of these Titans back in the day. I played with someone's Kreka when I was younger, when I was in like somewhere between Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. I remember playing with someone's Kreka that they brought on a camping trip. I don't know why they brought Kreka on the camping trip, but they did. I always wanted Nadiki. I'd actually tried building that claw function for my own parts, which I do every once in a while with Lego sets. If I really like a play function, I try to replicate it, or I like it, just a design. See if I have the right parts for it, even if it's a different color. I did not have any of these. I'm not really interested in them that much. If a number falls on my lap, if an Urnak falls on my lap, I'll welcome it in, but it's not something that I'm actively hunting for right now. Could I build Urnak and out of the Paraka and just get the rest of the parts separately? Probably. I'd have to see what that would cost, but I know that I have extra Paraka I could probably do that with. Tatarak. It's not a mock, or it is a mock, not a set. It is one that I do want to build. I've wanted to put that together for a long time. That's not a set, so that's why it's not really a part of this, but I did want to mention as at least another case of something that I'd rather just get all the pieces and put them together because I probably have them in my collection, or most of them in my collection, and not much else to build, or not much else to buy. As opposed to just buying one custom already assembled that somebody's selling online for gratuitous amounts of money. Umbra, just a mess. He's just a mess. You can't put any other Lego set. Well, you definitely can't put any other Bionicle set closer to the definition of gimmick than Umbra. He's got gimmicks galore. He's got light up eyes, light up swords, 2 light up swords, in fact, where most sets only have 1. The Rotuka spinner, the pistons on the legs, for posing him, and rollerblades. I know Bionicle sometimes gets gimmicky, but that's definitely at its peak. And only if I would definitely want that for the purposes of memeing alone, which I don't find a valid enough reason. I mean, good guy, yes, he's a meme too, but at least he's a formidable, small, buildable set that isn't going to hurt anybody. This, I don't know. Crack myself up with this. Okay, so for the Toa, Onua made it to the next page for some reason. For the Toa, I kind of have them. So I definitely have parts to a bunch of these. Kopaka is probably the least complete out of them, and Onua maybe. But yeah, I definitely like to get all of these complete. I don't think Gali is complete. She's just got a bunch of parts, but not all of them assembled. Tahu is nearly complete. He's got like 1 piece left. And if you want to count the Ninra Ghost Blasters, which I could go either way as far as counting it complete. Bohatu is definitely the most complete out of them because I actually have the canister with him and the instructions, along with all the parts, etc. Liwa's close, but he does have a few parts that are either fragile or missing. And I never got him complete to start with. So there's that. Bionicle Forever says, Umbra is pretty cool in person. I hope so. I've never had it in person, even playing with someone else's, so I don't know for sure. Kopaka, I would really, really like to get on that. I probably have pieces to try to put some of this together, but I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Yeah, Tahu, I was actually rebuilding before I moved. And I was like, wow, he's only missing like 1 blade on his shield. or something like that, and maybe the Ninja Gross, and there we go. I should have done this from the beginning. I should have actually made the list longer per page. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm going to let it rewind itself, and we'll scroll back again. All right. So I'm going to go yeet the scroll down farther on the page so we get back to where we were. Come on, still moving. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't know if it's because of the streaming or because of the PC. To also put this in perspective, I did mention this in the beginning, but I did mention in the beginning of the other one, I am not using the usual MacBook that I have for streaming and videoing and stuff. I'm actually using my older Windows 10 laptop, which may be wearing, but at least for now it still works. Still testing things with it for other purposes, but we'll see more about that later. Boop, boop, boop. You should have already been booped like that. Onua. Yeah, I only think I have the mask for him, and that's about it. That's probably the strongest bit that I have. There's this giant piece that's actually kind of unique to him, if I recall correctly. That's really fascinating, and when I see other people mock using that piece, I'm always like, what? Where did that come from? Antros is the most complete of the Makuta that I have from this wave, with the box, with the instructions, with all the parts. The other ones, not as much. I either don't have them at all, or I have a few parts missing, which is basically most of them I don't have at all. So I would like to get these some point later. Biddle is easily the most common. I've come across Biddle almost 3 times, even if it was incomplete, but still found those parts easily. And maybe like 1 or 2 pieces missing from this one, really, whether or not the Ninja Gross Blaster counts. And I don't remember, I might have the case for this one too. So yeah, we're almost there with that one. There are a few of them that actually do have the boxes. And for some nostalgia's sake, for some collectability, I might want to get the Takanuva and Makuta boxes, because that would just be cool on its own. They're very prominent. They're very the ones I really enjoyed as a kid. Really big moment, with those sets releasing. So maybe those. Toa, Scooby, are you? Okay. Well, we're about to have company, according to Scooby. So, pardon me if there's an interruption in the stream. What do you mean you can't update Chrome? So Ignika, I have the box with it. I don't remember if I have the instructions. I might. And I definitely have this thing complete. Same goes with Voltraz. I have that one. Takanuva, I have it mostly complete. Only a couple pieces missing. Don't worry, Scooby's fine. He's just pining for someone else coming home. And when they don't walk in right away, he just keeps whining at the door. Common Scooby thing. Zamor Spheres, that's the one I was talking about before, that I just have the pieces, don't have the box. I think I have a printout of the box for some reason. That's what the eBay seller said. He's like, here's just a picture of it. I have all of the Voyatorin. I don't have the boxes, but I did get these back in the day. I remember building the combo models like shortly after. And they were fun.